Today in the crypto space, we see the market holding steady, Bitcoin right around 92,000, Ethereum right around the $3,000 mark, and the rest of the crypto space, these altcoins are a mix of green and red, also holding fairly stable. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about an altcoin. I want to talk about a heavyweight, and that project is called Cardano. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what we got going on here. Generally, let's see what's going on. We got the market cap rising to $3.2 trillion. It's a 1% move, but at least it's a higher high, right? But what we don't want to see is the market look the other way. As you can see, the trading volume has been dropping, which is not a good sign. We want market consensus. We want the participation. We want to see this pump continue with the strength. However, guys, there's a bit of a holiday. Happy Thanksgiving for those of you that are celebrating, but it is what it is. People are relaxing. People are on holiday. People are not focusing right now on crypto. There's other things to be focusing on, like family and friends, and it's totally understandable. However, guys, the market really doesn't care. You can see that. We see prices moving today pretty good in to the upside, right? We have Bitcoin up 2% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum's holding very, very steady, but the rest of the space, as you can see, it's a little bit finicky. Mixer green and red, that's for sure. We see Hyperliquid doing okay. We see Stellar XLM coming down to 2.5% to the downside. Zcash keeps on falling. It is what it is. What else do we have here? AVAX still waking up, guys. Since yesterday, it's been doing pretty good, guys. AVAX has been quiet for the last little while. The same with SUI, and they've been doing great. SUI's looking for a breakout, in my opinion. It does look like right now we're looking for a BOS to the upside, which is nice. As we continue to the downside, down here, you can see that we are getting a bit of green here and there. We got Mantle up 2.9%. We got OKB another 2.5%. Pi Network is doing pretty good all of a sudden. But then we got Meme Core rolling over. What does that tell you? Be careful there. Be careful with the memes. All of that nonsense is going to get flushed out of the market. Athena doing great, up 3.6% on an uptrend, as you can see. A lot of these lower time frame uptrends are totally intact as we speak. We do have some good gainers, 2.9% for Ondo. I'm like Ondo. You guys know. Even Caspa's doing great, 3.4%. So generally speaking, it's either we're stable or we're moving a little bit. There's not any major dips right now at the current moment, like nothing crazy. For the most part, although we are stable, we're seeing some good green, like even Flare is up 11%. Right, we got Sky up 8%. So overall, guys, if you're in the right projects at the right time, there's a congratulations for sure, because there's some green. Today, I want to talk about Cardano, guys. What's going on with Cardano? We'll take a look at the chart. Let's see what they got going on here. Cardano right now is at about 43.5 cents. Just keep in mind, this is a large cap project. We're talking about a $16 billion market cap project. It's huge, right? We know that. At the end of the day, we are fully diluted at about 20, which means that based on the total supply and the max supply, we're pretty much at a level where the good portion of the tokens are already in circulation. So if you look at the circulating supply and the max, you can see 36 billion versus 45, which means that there's a little bit more that need to be issued. Okay, so there is that scenario where you are going to see tokens being issued via rewards and so on, and people are going to be like, look, the sell pressure based on those distributed token, and that's definitely something to consider, of course. But we're talking about Cardano, guys. Its schedule, its release is so slow and steady. And we've seen Cardano do very well in previous cycles, that we're anticipating that Cardano could do very well. And again, this cycle, right? So we're being very patient here. Let's see what Cardano's been up to. This is the Cardano community page. Go check them out and give them a follow. They got 1.4 million followers. So yeah, like I mentioned, this is a heavyweight project, guys. If you don't know about Cardano, I highly suggest that you go check it out. And we're going to talk about just a bit about the FUD or the situation that happened with Cardano recently. By the way, guys, make sure you got your facts straight, because a lot of people are making up all kinds of stories. Nothing really happened. It did happen. Something did happen, but it didn't affect Cardano significantly. So as you can see, they're posting and they're active. Berlin teaser is here. Pure impact, pure community. That's what you want to see. We got a wallet connections on Cardano. We got some good posts here. Follow the link to join, start building. They want developers. The developer offer office hours, 24 hours for developers for sure. Thank you to everyone in our technical community for ensuring Cardano remained resilient. Okay, what does this mean? That means that they had a bit of an issue. We are pleased to confirm that Cardano mainnet has been operating without issue since Friday evening. Block production returned to its expected density, and the system is stable. So what really happened is at one given point, there was a transaction that caused the blockchain, the Cardano blockchain, to split, the fork. And this wasn't the intention of the Cardano team. This is something that happened based on a transaction, a very strategic transaction that was caused by somebody that knew exactly how to do it, right? And it's a vulnerability, no doubt. And of course, we're still in the wild, wild west. We know that. But the more that, these projects, these L1s are battle tested, the better it is. Just keep in mind that Cardano never had an issue in the past, ever. And this was one of its main, value propositions, right? But it was bound to happen because, of course, these challenges are taken by some very talented individuals. So to follow up, basically, they really want to create a proper incident report, and I'm expecting to see that very soon. I want to know exactly what happened with some fine detail. And as you can see, they keep on posting, but there is a post below where they kind of like spell out what's exactly happening. By the way, the Cardano Summit 2025 community recap, they got some good stuff there. Some developers hanging out. I'm looking for that post, guys. I want to talk this one right here, and it's a pretty good one because it kind of summarizes exactly what you need to know, like the different myth. Cardano went down. No, it didn't. Cardano didn't go down. It was a slowdown, which is fine because of the temporary chain split. They fixed it all up, guys. So it got split and then they fixed it. Cardano was hacked. No, it wasn't. Right, was not compromised, right? Nothing happened with its consensus in the cryptography. Everything was valid. It was just a node implementation that had an issue, which was fixed. And, myth number 3, nobody uses Cardano. That's why nobody noticed. Funny, but, we all have our opinions on that. But whatever it is, guys, let's move on from that. Myth number 4, an AI using teenager brought the network down. No, this is a skilled individual. Someone centrally rolled back the chain. Absolutely not. This is not what happened. A lot of people came up with that myth that this was something that the Cardano team did and this and that, guys. Look, it wasn't that big deal. The response was great. They formed the incident. There was a squad that took care of it. And since then, Cardano's back in action. And they got to learn from it, and to the point that now they're completely revisiting the code once again and making sure Cardano gets back in action and stronger than ever. That's the truth, guys. That's how you build resilience. As you fail, you get back to the drawing board, you implement, patches and learn. And then once you learn, you just become more battle tested, thicker skin, more and more and more. And this is the truth. And now, they have their bounties for anybody that finds any issues. That's a positive result. That's a positive way of doing things. Okay. So overall, Cardano is a beast. You guys know that from a tech stack perspective. Now, obviously, we're waiting for some ecosystem growth. That's what we're waiting for Cardano. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about price action. So let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the Cardano chart. Why? Because Cardano, at the end of the day, it did rally up a little bit here throughout the cycle. But as you can see, we're coming down to lower levels. And the question is, how low do we go? When do we buy the dip? Do we sell, run for the hills? Guys, ultimately, it's a very critical moment here for the crypto space in general, not just Cardano. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. At the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, like, it's these dips that obviously cause all those emotions. You've seen we got the peaks and the valleys already in this cycle once, twice, three times, as you can see, once, twice, three times, right? We got them, and every time we made higher highs, and every time we made slightly higher lows. It doesn't mean that we have to make a higher low. In fact, we could come down to the bottom of the range. We can even sweep the bottom of the range and come down and hunt all the liquidity down at these levels. Very possible, because if we can break through these tops, what does the market need to do? The market needs to go and put these coins on sale so that the buyers could buy. And where are all the buyers right now? Down here. That's where the buyers are. Smart money's all the way down here waiting for capitulation events, right? And they're ready to accumulate. That's the truth, right? Other than that, guys, you might have some buy orders right into here based on this market structure here, and the rest of it is down here. So if we are going to come down to that level, that's the level of where I want to buy. Other than that, the only other thing we're waiting for is a potential catalyst for Cardano. Or even so, if you're looking at a price, if you're looking at the chart, some sort of structure in this price action that suggests a reversal. I'm going to tell you right now, here on the daily time frame, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's not even an edge right here on the daily time frame. Nice little bounce. We're going to celebrate all the little bounces here on the channel, of course. But the truth is, guys, there's no shift in direction. The change of character of this trend has not been put in yet. So how are we going to actually get bullish here? We need something like this. We need something like this. We need something to suggest no more lower lows. Okay, so as you can see in the past, we did very good buying bottom, selling tops, buying bottom, selling tops, and so on and so forth. And then this was the last time I got into Cardano, because after that we did pretty good, guys. We ran up, and it did awesome. Now, guess what? We're at a good level once again. We're at a level where we can inflict some pain. Right, the pain down here at the point of control, the pain down here where the fair value is, basically based on all the amount of volume that was put in, the market participation that was put in. We know that this is where the most pain can be. So this is where the price travels to, where the liquidity's at. So what we got to do is be patient here, because this is the current moment where Cardano could be finding a bit of a bottom on this structure to the downside, because you got to admit this does look like a three-wave retracement. It does. A, B, C. Right now, if that's the case, guys, the C wave is already in, right? The likelihood is that we find a reversal here, and then we go for a 5-wave up, and we start to see Cardano expand the way we've done it in the past, right? In the past, we get those peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, and then bang, all of a sudden, this peaks and valleys, and then bang, maybe we start moving, guys. Again, I'm not a fortune teller. What do I know? Right? I'm not here to tell you the future. I don't know exactly where Cardano is going to go. Cardano could go down to zero for all I know. But the truth is, based on probability, if you are going to get some exposure in Cardano, I would say that anywhere from where we are right now to the bottom of the range is fair game. If you don't want to try to time a bottom. If you want to try to time a bottom and, try your best to get the best entry based on liquidity, guys, the level is about 20 cents, maybe a little bit lower, right? That's the truth, but you never know, it may not happen. And then you might be left behind, and that's where that FOMO kicks in. So I have a strategy where I satisfy the FOMO. And of course, a lot of people call it DCAing. It is DCAing, but it's about strategic DCAing. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go all in or even make equal installments in my DCAs. I might get into a small bag here, wait for the market structure to show me a nice shift or a change of character, and then I increase my DCA. Then we come down to this level, and I increase it even further. So it's almost like a gradual increase of position size, so that I can bring down my average cost a lot quicker to the downside as the price falls. However, still exposing my portfolio to more Cardano as it comes down, with more aggression as it comes down. That's the whole strategy. Because at the current moment, I'll tell you this, guys, there's no real indication of a bottom. We broke below the horizontal structure. This was the level that was very, very interesting, right? We got multiple bottoms. In fact, we reacted very nicely. And if you put yourself at a break even or got defensive on this push to the upside, good. That's what you should have done, right? You don't take it for granted, right? You can see this market structure shift right into here where we got, higher highs and then lower highs, and we broke below and made a lower low, and then all of a sudden we're on a downtrend, and here we are breaking below these bottoms. So the question is that what do? Do we get a dead cat bounce here and come down further and get trapped into a dead cat bounce? The bulls can get trapped into a dead cat bounce here. Or do we finally get back above? Now, what would get me bullish right now? What would get me bullish right now is to see price get back above this horizontal once again, close the daily candle. If we backtest, even better, and then eventually break above and go for a higher high. This whole zone is where I would be getting in and deploying and stop losses underneath here. Okay, that would be a big swing position, because if we get this and we get some sort of confirmation like this, guys, range highs is the first target right around this level. I would say, to be safe, right around here, which is at about $1, and then trail up a stop loss and anticipate a breakout, perhaps where we go into, higher levels type of zones. However, guys, if we continue on this trajectory to the downside, as I mentioned, the majority of the liquidity is down here. And we need to be prepared for that possibility. We need to be aware that we need to have the capital to buy the dip at those levels. If you're bullish on Cardano, that's where the most lucrative opportunity is. If we get rejected off this horizontal, as you can see, we're backtesting. If we get rejected right now, the probability of coming down further is quite high. So we got to be real about that as well. Let's take a look at oscillators. Oscillators are very, very clear. As you see, red expansion, purple lines, purple momentum, definitely in oversold conditions. Zero sign of divergence at the current moment. What we do see is volatility weakening, basically getting bearish, more bearish. Now, in that case, guys, be simple, be patient. What we want to start to see is stronger impulses to the upside. We want to see a divergence here. We want to see this change directions. We want to see the volatility, the orange line, stay overbought and get Uno reverses down here rather than up here. We want to see the shift in momentum. Right now, we've been on a downtrend. Let's go up to the uptrend. And we are very close. Why? Because we're in oversold conditions. Once we get into oversold conditions, which is below the 30 mark, okay, that starts to put you in a scenario where you possibly can catch a bottom. This is watch list material here that you're seeing on the chart. Once you get into oversold condition on the daily, guys, and you're at a level of inflection and close to it, right? You have to put this on a watch list. Now, momentum oscillator, EMAs are still facing down in the bearish control zone. There's a bit of divergence that didn't get invalidated. Still, green histogram bars, it's not too bad. We're waiting for a complete shift also into the bullish control zone here. So we are early here on Cardano. Still, we are looking for a proper reversal. Okay, so what am I looking for here on the daily? Is a reversal where we see a higher high or a higher low. Let's get down to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is a little easier to kind of manage. Again, we need to get above this yellow line and backtest in spring. If not, if we continue getting rejected, guys, we come down for a lower low. It's a dead cat bounce, and the lower low we go. And again, down here is where we got to worry about going. However, again, this is what I want. We can even get a rounded bottom here for a double bottom. We can do something, but we need a bit of divergence. Are we getting any right now? We're oversold. We're getting a bit of follow through. If we get momentum back down again, if you see this momentum, the purple line come down again, and it doesn't make a lower low, and this is the low, then you know what? Higher lows are good confirmation of a potential reversal here. And that usually happens when we get into the chop zone, the 50% mark of the momentum oscillator. Let me just quickly get rid of that so you can see what I mean. Right into here. Usually we get the 50%. At the 50%, we get a mid-range type of volatility. So as we are going upwards, we hesitate here for a little bit, and it happens all the time. Sometimes we even use that as resistance. But when we hesitate there, we actually generally don't get follow through from price action. We actually get a retracement. So let's see what happens here. If we get a bit of a retracement, and then from there on the next leg, when we start moving, we want to see this thing expand and make a higher high and get overbought. You can see the volatility is hanging out there, showing strength. But guys, the truth is, the majority of this is still on a downtrend. We haven't gotten any market structure shift or any sign at the current moment that the bulls are back. We got to be careful here, guys. We see a bit of volatility. We're seeing some projects, do green, get some green today, some yesterday. Some of them are pulling back. It's very, very volatile. It's very indecisive. Guys, maybe it's time that you take the weekend off. To be honest, low volume price action is difficult to handle. I would suggest touch some grass, spend some time with your family. The market's going to be here when we return on Monday. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.